if you've been living under a rock, there has indeed been some serious shenanigans been going on with UEFA, with football over the last 24 hours. Big stuff. Big stuff. Huge stuff. Alright, Man City has, well, temporarily been banned from all UEFA competitions for the next 2 years. They've been given like a 30+ million euro fine. Apparently they might get a Premier League points deduction this year, maybe next year as well. But the big one for them is they will, as things stand, have no Champions League football for 2 years. So really, Pep, if you're going to win it, you sort of have to win it this year. And that's all you can really do about it. That's it. He's probably going to go in the summer now because of this. Because his goal is to win the Champions League. And if he can't win it at City, he has to go somewhere else then. We have Mourinho, but hey, Pep, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach. But with this whole new fiasco that's going on, it's basically thrown a spanner in the works to the entire Premier League top half of the table. Honestly, the last day of the season is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. And it's going to be glorious, all right? I absolutely love it. I love what it's going to be. I just hope Spurs manage to creep in. But as things stand, all right, Sheffield United would qualify for the Champions League next year. Now, we can't have that happen because we need Spurs to qualify. But if it is anyone, then imagine Sheffield United playing at the Bernabeu or Sheffield United playing at the Allianz Arena. Like, what world do we live in here? We even just allowing Leicester, like, yeah, Leicester, they won the league and they're doing it again. They're coming up. They're becoming a staple in a way. If they get this season and a couple seasons down the line, they keep on getting top 3, top 4. I mean, it's really opened up the league. So Man City being disqualified from Champions League football means that now the 5th place team in the Premier League gets automatic Champions League qualification. That is allowing City coming in the top 5 as well. If City comes out of the top 5, then it's only top 4. If City is in the top 5, then it is the top 5 of the Premier League, excluding City, who get Champions League football. But there have been questions that have been raised here. Like, how does this work with the other competitions, right? Because if now 5th place goes down to Champions League qualification, then 6th place gets the first Europa League place, 7th place would get the second Europa League place, and 8th place would get the third Europa League place. This is absolutely crazy. So that means the 8th place team in the Premier League is going to go into the Europa League qualifying rounds if City finishes in the top 8. That's crazy. But then what happens if, like, I don't know, United win the Europa League? Then they automatically qualify for the Champions League as well. So then there are 5 teams in the Champions League, and if United finish outside of the top 8, but they win the Europa League, or Arsenal win the Europa League but finish outside the top 8, then there's another Champions League spot. But that still means the top 5 have qualified, excluding City, for the Champions League. So that means 9 teams, 8 of the 9 teams will qualify for Champions League or Europa League football. And then if a Premier League side, say Spurs or Chelsea, win the Champions League, by hook or by crook, one way or another, but they both finish outside of the Champions League spots, that means that they get a Champions League spot next year. So there could be 6 teams in the Champions League for England? Is that how it works? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But the fact that this is amazing stuff now. Because now 4th and 5th are up for Champions League. This is going to be a brawl. Like, there's Chelsea, Sheffield United, Spurs, Wolves, Everton, United, Burnley, Arsenal, Newcastle. All of those clubs, that's 9 clubs potentially, are in catchable distance of Chelsea in 4th and Sheffield United in 5th. Everton has just had a surge since Carlo Ancelotti's taken over. I mean, I don't know what he's been doing on the training pitch. He's been doing something. I don't know what. But he's Carlo. They want a new stadium. They want Champions League football. They want European football at the minimum. And they're sitting pretty good in 8th place right now. Only a couple points behind Spurs, Sheffield United and Chelsea. I mean, it is a bit nutty, you know. And also, if Leicester sort of fall away a bit as well over the next couple of weeks, they sort of get pulled into this race for Champions League football as well. Like, if Leicester lose 1 or 2 games, they're in touching distance of Chelsea and Sheffield United and Spurs. So, this could just absolutely blow the gates wide open. Potentially, if Leicester, like, falter a little bit here, from 3rd all the way down to like 11th if Arsenal can pick up a run. Or Newcastle if they can pick up a run. It's absolutely crazy shit. This is one of the most ludicrous seasons I've ever seen for the Premier League. And I've seen almost all of them. Actually. Almost all of them. Yeah. The fact that City are just as close to the relegation places points-wise as they are in retrospect to Liverpool as well. Like, there's 24 points between them and Liverpool. 25 points between them and Liverpool. And there's 25 points between them and Aston Villa. It's crazy. It's crazy. Chelsea are closer to the relegation places than the top of the table. Spurs are only 12, 13 points above the relegation places. But they're in 6th place and they could go 5th. It's absolutely mad shit. It's absolutely bonkers. And this is the Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone. And I think this season has shown that more than any over the past 10 years. This one in particular has shown everyone is a fair game, you know. Unless you're playing like Norwich at the bottom of the table. They can even give you a game. They can hit you on the counter. They got Pookie. They got some good players there. I don't even know where I want to end up the table to end up at the end of the season. I don't know how it's going to end up. I don't know how I want it to end up. But the way it's going, I want Spurs to finish in Champions League places. But the way it is, I can't see with the fixtures they have, unless they really tear it up and get some incredible results. You know, you're between a rock and a hard place for Spurs, United, Arsenal, you know, the clubs that you'd expect to be in this position and going higher up the table. It's not easy, you know. Everton have a really hard run of fixtures over the next month. Like, the next 3 or 4 match days are awful for Everton. They have some of the worst games you could have in a run. But after that, they basically have the easiest run-in out of all the clubs from Leicester all the way down to Newcastle. They have the easiest run-in for sure. And there are no easy games in the Premier League, but if you look at it, you know, they're busted out 4 really difficult games next. And then they got like 8 games, which are really winnable for them. So, if the clubs above Everton aren't solidly 10 points clear of them in 3-4 weeks' time, by the end of the season, Everton could really pick up 20 points in the last 8 games and randomly appear in the Champions League places. Like, it's really crazy what could happen here. I'm just excited to see what does happen. I hope Spurs finish Champions League places, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I don't mind as long as it is a Champions League spot in 5th, because City they're going to rebuttal it and refute what's going on in UEFA, saying it's an unfair hearing and all these things. And then they might actually gain the Champions League space back. I think 2 years is probably excessive, but I think for sure they're going to get a points deduction in the Premier League either this year and or next year, and they're probably going to miss out on Champions League for 1 year. 2 years, I don't know what the right thing is here, but if they can do it, they'll have the best lawyers in the world working on it. So it's a hard thing for City fans. Even though they don't really love the Champions League, you know, City fans have not had the best relationship with the competition. When there are match days and you hear it on the telly, on the television, it's like fans are booing before the game starts and after it finishes, even if they win. It's confusing bunch, these Mancunians. But yeah, Spurs. Now you've got this like second shot. You got some like you got some juice in you. Just go and do it, all right? especially if Sheffield United end up getting into Champions League spots. And Leicester. But Sheffield United, guys, crazy. They've had a great season. Chris Wilder's done a phenomenal job. Let's not downplay that. Because for me, if Liverpool hadn't done as well as they had done this year, by basically winning every game, bar one, that's 2, bar 1, Chris Wilder would probably be at this point in the season, manager of the season. But the thing is, if he can get Champions League football for Sheffield United, I think he has a battle with Klopp there for manager of the season, you know? I really, really do. He's done a phenomenal, incredible job there. And anyone who says he hasn't, I mean, you're clearly not watching the same stuff. They have one of the best defensive records. They might actually have the best defensive record in the league, other than Liverpool. They might have the best defensive record, including Liverpool. I'm actually not sure about that. But yeah, the problem is they just don't score that many goals. If they scored more goals, they'd probably be bloody second in the league. Honestly, if they scored like 1 more goal every 2 games, 3 games, they'd probably be like third in the league right now. Crazy. Amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love seeing these wonder stories. But like not at the expense of Spurs, alright? Going to see Leipzig Spurs on Wednesdays. Hopefully we can pick up a result there. Not an easy game. But hey, it might be the last time we see Spurs in the Champions League. Until like next year, the year after. Yeah. It depends how the season ends. But yeah. Cool stuff. Interesting stuff. We always love these shots of intensity that comes when random shit happens. And this is just going to be an absolute free-for-all come the end of the season. And I can't wait to see the table then. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then UEFA will come after you, alright? They can do this to Manchester City. They can do this to anyone, ruin anyone's life. You don't want that. You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. Now, I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. Yep, make a video every day. If you don't know, I'll make a video every day. Been doing it for over 600 days now. Yeah. Yeah, it's killing me. But I love it. So I carry on. Not stopping until we get to 10,000 subscribers. So subscribe. That would be wonderful. Help me out. It would really do me some good. Subscribe. Trying to get 10,000. When we get there, I'll take a nap. Feeling a bit out of breath right now. Just came back from the gym, so yeah. Subscribe. I'll say it one more time. Subscribe. See you tomorrow, though, because I will indeed be back for some more quality shitty content. Hashtag quality shitty content. Hashtag the truth. Hashtag I know it. See you tomorrow. Because I will be here. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.